back across my past. Though missed the time, it went by fast. Things that haven't made no sense. Strange things and weird events. Second guess it and give it a stir. It will bring you back to her. You will make it by living your life. Some things no asking twice. My mind wanders hard on my past. So many things I just can't grasp. I feel lost, can't find my way. Looking back, I just got to say, Mr. Gumbo cooking up in my head. It's got me thinking, jumping out of my bed. Ingredients in the back of my mind, mixing up from the front to behind. I'm in the shadows, I'm trying to see the Mr. Gumbo, it's surrounding me. I'm in a place that's the oldest time. Mr. Gumbo, it's an ancient rhyme. I'm living in a mystic gumbo. I can't deny the way I go. It's got me thinking about a mystic gumbo. I'm caught up in the ebb and flow. Stirring up some mystic gumbo.
How y'all doing, baby?
Pot boiling mystic
It's
gumbo.
Sunday, baby. It's time for a little Mystic Gumbo. We can all get together in the same pot. I hope y'all are having a great day. My fingers. I apologize for being a few minutes late. Had some technical problems going on, but with the great help of my technical team, they got it fixed. Anyway, Susan Greenland was the first one to jump in, followed by Kelly Roberts and Bunny Griffin. Ann Jacobs is here, Trudy Baxter, Teresa Hicks, Busy Lizzie. Busy Lizzie is with us. Jeanette Miller, K.Y. Grammy, Robert Sinclair, thank you very much. Lynn Wood, Jeanette Miller, Demetrius Cephas, and Oscar Hernandez. Sammy Marcy's here. Vernon Salone, Adina Michaels, Cheryl Thibodeau. I'm sorry, baby. You'd think for a Cajun name I'd be able to get that. But anyway, Dorothy Tyndall, Kelly Harris, I'm glad y'all are here. Let me zip this down here so we can get started. Anyway, it's Sunday, baby. I hope you had a great weekend. I had a busy weekend. Yesterday, I attended the No Kings March, not march, the protest here in Corpus Christi. We don't march. We stand on a big long stretch of Ocean Drive up there with our signs, and there was plenty of people out there. I was plumb proud of the turnout in Corpus, and met some great people. A great Blue Dot friend. I met Eddie Murphy. Oh, I can't remember. Eddie, I forgot your last name. Starts with an M or M-E-R or something. I'm far sorry, but I met several Blue Dots at the protest yesterday, and I hope you had a chance to participate. It was a worldwide event. It was going on all over the world. So yeah, it felt good to get out there and be involved. And then today I spent several hours with on the Tim Cormall show with Tim Cormall and Joe Santorsa. Had a great time on Tim's show. I shared it on social media there, so you should be able to find it if you're so inclined. Anyway, John's about wore out. I've been cooking it all weekend. It did me good, though, to get out there on the protest scene yesterday and be a part of that. Hello, Miss Chick.
Hey, John.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm a little tired. That's normal for me.
No. Did you get to participate yesterday?
I did. I was not feeling up to par, so I didn't get over there in a timely manner. I got there towards the very end, and yeah. So I don't know how many were there. They were already starting to leave when I got there. But,
Lord, we had thousands of people lining Ocean Drive right there at Cole Park. It went on for a while. It was a great turnout, and I understand it was a great turnout all over the country.
I do believe it was, but it's great. The protests are great. gets you out there around like-minded people, and it feels good, but it's not the end-all to be-all.
No.
And even the numbers don't really matter. It's what we are going to do next. What are we going to do? We know that we've got a lot of people who feel like us. So what are all those people going to do? They need to start taking some action beyond just protesting. We still want to protest peacefully.
Indeed.
But there's so many other things we have to do. Because we aren't going to just, win something by being out there in the street with signs.
No. No, baby. You got to make sure.
So run for something. Make sure you're registered. Make sure that you know who's running for shit in your area, in all areas, and promote the people that are good. And that includes in Washington. And, that's the other part is this whole vote blue no matter who. Not this time. Nope.
Pay attention.
We have to make sure we know who we're voting for in our blue.
Indeed.
Because we don't want the same old shit that happened last time. They had a chance. They had a chance to make this better.
You want the same shit to happen, you keep electing the same people. We need new blood. We really do.
Me too.
As a nation and as a party. The old guard, it's time to move on.
So even though it felt good for a minute, it's not the end of anything. It's not the solution. It's not the full solution. But keep doing that, though. Keep doing that because it pisses them off. The numbers piss them off. That there's that many people in the street in one day that says to Trump. There's that part.
Let me see. Philip Seaver, he said no kings in Idaho. We had over 2,000 people, and that's really good for North Idaho. So yeah,
that is good for North Idaho.
Even in places where you wouldn't think.
There was little bitty town in Alaska had 20 people. That's big deal. That's a big freaking deal.
And that is a big deal, because if your crowd is that small in that small of a town, the chances are everybody knows your ass. So yeah, kudos on them for having the guts to stand out there in front of their community.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah, and we can't forget exactly why we're standing out there too. Don't get distracted. Epstein files. I did have a message though from a Blue Dot. Our own George, who is from Michigan, had said on the last show that he was going to be at the protest in Lansing. He was going to have someone there that could video with him, but he did not feel well. And he wants to apologize to any Blue Dots that were going to look for him there. He did not make it because he was not feeling well enough. He's got RSV, possibly. He's got an infection going on in his lungs. And
that's not good.
So send him all your best. And he definitely apologizes, but George, no apologies needed when you don't feel well.
Not needed, brother. Not needed.
Yeah.
Take care of your health. That's the number one thing.
Let
me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear a humming or a buzzing?
Hang on, let me get the thing closer. Yeah, there's a little something. Do you have a fan running?
That's the fan on my laptop that runs this whole show. All of a sudden, that fan kicked on, and it's making all sorts of noise. I'm worried.
It's warm.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So I don't know. I just
might be wearing out.
You could hear it. That's all right. I have a hammer. I can fix that shit.
Sure, that'll work.
Willpower. That's what it takes. That's all it takes. Willpower and a good hammer.
Yeah.
You could fix anything. But
yeah, I do have something here from my favorite Australian writer, G-Man in Australia, and it's just a reminder. It's a reminder of the asshole that we have in that office, right? But it's not just that; it's the people that are supporting him, and he wants to point out that part. So I'll just go ahead and read this if Jorge doesn't mind.
Go on.
Yeah. Let me tell you something that keeps me up at night.
But
It's not Donald Trump. We all know what Donald Trump is. The evidence is overwhelming. It's documented. It's on video. It's on audio. It's in court records. A federal judge literally confirmed that Trump forcibly penetrated a woman with his fingers in a department store dressing room, and that this constituted rape by any common understanding of the word. A jury awarded E. Jean Carroll $5 million. Then another jury hit him with $83.3 million in defamation damages because he wouldn't stop lying about it. The appeals court upheld it. Every single challenge Trump threw at those verdicts got thrown out. We know what he is. What keeps me up at night is the famous people, the household names, the people whose movies we watched, whose fights we cheered for, whose records we bought, who all looked at all of that evidence and said, yeah, that's my guy.
yeah.
That's what makes me fucking sick. Let's start with the big dog, Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa himself, the Italian stallion. This bloke stood up at Mar-a-Lago in November 2024 and called Donald Trump the second George Washington. He compared Trump to Jesus Christ, to Rocky, a mythical figure, a chosen one. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone has 3 daughters, Sophia, Sistine, and Scarlett. Beautiful young women. He does a whole reality show about being a protective dad. He writes their breakup letters for them. He says he'd keep them at home until they were 55 if he had his way. What a good dad. So here's my question, Sly, and I want you to really sit with this one. In 1992, Donald Trump was filmed at Trump Tower looking at a 10-year-old girl on an escalator. He turned to the camera and said, I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it? He was 46 years old. A 46-year-old man looked at a child and said that on camera. And that wasn't even the only time. The Chicago Tribune reported that around the same time, Trump approached a group of 14-year-old girls from a youth choir and said, wow, just think, in a couple of years, I'll be dating you. In 1997, at least 5 former contestants in the Miss Teen USA beauty pageant told reporters that Trump walked into their dressing room while girls as young as 15 were undressing. Former Miss Vermont Teen USA, Mariah Bellado, said she was putting on her dress as fast as she could because there was a man in it. She said Trump told them, don't worry, ladies, I've seen it all before. She told Ivanka Trump about it. Ivanka's response? Yeah, he does that. And this wasn't some secret. Trump bragged about it to Howard Stern. He said because he owned the pageant, he was inspecting the contestants. You know, they're standing there with no clothes, he told Stern, and you can see these incredible looking women, and I sort of get away with things like that. He got away with things like that. And then there's the Access Hollywood tape, the one that should have ended everything. Trump on a hot mic telling Billy Bush that when you're famous, you can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. Just start kissing them. Don't even wait. His own words, not alleged, not hearsay. His own voice on tape describing sexual assault as a perk of celebrity. Then E. Jean Carroll, a respected journalist and columnist. She said Trump attacked her in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room in the mid-1990s, shoved her against a wall, forced himself on her. A jury found Trump liable for sexual abuse. Judge Lewis Kaplan went further. He wrote that the evidence convincingly established that Trump deliberately and forcibly penetrated Miss Carroll's VJ with his fingers, causing immediate pain and long-lasting emotional and psychological harm. The judge confirmed that what Trump did was rape by any common definition of the word. The only reason the jury didn't tick the rape box was because New York's penal code has a narrow technical definition that requires penetration by a penis specifically. By every other standard, legal and moral, the man is a rapist. The appeals court upheld the verdict twice for both cases. Every argument Trump's lawyers threw up got knocked down. And then there's the thing he said about his own daughter on The View in 2006, sitting right next to Ivanka. Trump said, I've said if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Perhaps.
The host called him sick and weird to his face. His own spokesman had to issue a statement saying he was joking. But he wasn't joking when he told Howard Stern in 2003 that Ivanka's got the best body. He wasn't joking when he agreed on air that she was a piece of ass. And according to former White House staffers, behind closed doors, it was even worse. Miles Taylor wrote in his book that Trump made sexual comments about Ivanka's body in front of staff so disturbing that his own chief of staff, John Kelly, had to remind him that Ivanka was his daughter. This is the man Sylvester Stallone called the second George Washington. Now imagine for 1 second, just 1 second, that some creep, some predator with a documented history of walking in on undressing teenagers, of making sexual comments about children, of bragging about grabbing women's genitals without consent, a man a federal judge confirmed forcibly penetrated a woman. Imagine that man did any one of those things to Sophia Stallone, or Sistine, or Scarlett. How would Sly feel then? Would he be comparing that man to Jesus Christ? Would he be shaking that man's hand at a gala in Palm Beach? Would he be calling him mythical? Of course he bloody wouldn't. He'd want to kill the bloke. Any father would. But because it happened to someone else's daughter, someone else's mother, someone else's 15-year-old child standing in a dressing room trying to cover herself while a 50-year-old man walked in uninvited, well, that's apparently fine. That gets a standing ovation. And it's not just Stallone, the whole rotten gallery of them. Dana White, the UFC boss, one of Trump's most loyal attack dogs. He's got a daughter too, Savannah, his miracle baby. He talks about how being a girl dad is tougher because you have to protect your daughter. Protect her from what, Dana? From men exactly like the one you've been publicly worshiping for the last decade?
No shit.
John Voight, the man Trump made one of his special ambassadors to Hollywood. When the Access Hollywood tape dropped in 2016 and the world heard Trump bragging about grabbing women by the pussy, Voight's response was to defend him. He said he didn't know too many men who haven't expressed some sort of similar sexual terms towards women. Really, John?
Really?
Most men you know brag about sexually assaulting women? What circles are you moving in, mate?
No
Actually,
shit.
don't answer that. Hulk Hogan, ripping his shirt off at the Republican National Convention like it's WrestleMania. Kid Rock performing at Trump rallies saying, "You think I like Trump because he's a nice guy?" That mother effer likes to win. He likes to cheat in his fucking golf game. I want that guy on my team. He cheats at golf, so you want him running the country? Brilliant logic. And the cheating thing? That extends well beyond the golf course, mate. Dennis Quaid, Kelsey Grammer, James Woods, Roseanne Barr, Joe Rogan, who endorsed Trump on the eve of the 2024 election, Vince Vaughn in the White House, Nicki Minaj calling herself probably the president's #1 fan. One after another, a parade of famous faces lending their credibility, their brand, their audience to a man who is, by any reasonable standard of evidence, a serial sexual predator. And I haven't even mentioned the tech billionaires, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook, each donating $1 million to Trump's inaugural fund. Men with more money than God bending the knee to a man who assaults women and oogles teenagers. But that's a whole other conversation. Here's what gets me. Every single one of these people, every last one of them, if some random bloke at their kid's school had even half the allegations against him that Trump has, they would never let their children within a kilometer of that person. If their daughter's boyfriend's father had been found liable in court for sexual assault, they'd be calling the lawyers. If a man at their gym had been caught on tape bragging about grabbing women without consent, they'd never speak to him again. But because it's Donald Trump, because he's powerful, because he's president, because being in his orbit means access and influence and tax breaks and favors, they look the other way. They clap. They cheer. They call him the second George Washington. In 2013, Lieutenant General David Morrison, the chief of the Australian Army, gave one of the most powerful speeches in this country's history. He was addressing a culture of sexual exploitation and degradation within the ranks. And he said something that should be tattooed on the forehead of every single celebrity who has ever stood on stage and praised Donald Trump. Quote, "The standard you walk past is the standard you accept." Every famous face that shook Trump's hand after that Access Hollywood tape, every celebrity who praised him after the E. Jean Carroll verdict, every movie star who attended his galas and his rallies, and his inaugurations, knowing full well what this man has done to women. They walked past the standard. They accepted it. They endorsed it. They amplified it. They told millions of fans that a man who forces himself on women, who walks in on undressing teenagers, who makes sexual comments about his own daughter, was found liable for sexual assault in a court of law, that this man deserves to be the most powerful person on the planet. They are complicit. I don't care how good Rocky was. I don't care how many UFC fights Dana White has promoted. I don't care how funny Joe Rogan's podcast is or how many records Kid Rock has sold. If you stand next to a sexual predator and tell the world he's a hero, you're telling every survivor of sexual assault that their pain doesn't matter. You're telling every young woman who has been groped, assaulted, walked in on, leered at, and it's okay as long as the man doing it is rich enough and powerful enough. And you know what's the saddest part is? I've had this conversation with Trump supporters, mates of mine who love the bloke. They'll defend him till they're blue in the face. The economy, the border, China, whatever talking point they've picked up that week. But every single time, without fail, when I ask them one simple question, the conversation goes dead silent. Would you leave Donald Trump alone at home with your 16-year-old daughter? They never answer, not once, because they know, deep down, they all know. And the famous people, they know it too. They just don't give a shit because it's not their daughter. It's not their sister. It's not their mother pinned against a wall in a department store dressing room. It's someone else's problem. Well, it's not someone else's problem. It's everyone's problem. Because when the most powerful man in the world has a documented history of predatory behavior towards women and girls, and the rich and famous line up to kiss his ring, that sends a message to every predator in every town in every country on earth. It says power protects you, fame shields you, money buys you immunity. And the people you admire, the people on your screens and in your stadiums, they're absolutely fine with it. The standard you walk past is the standard you accept. Stallone walked past it. Dana White walked past it. Voight walked past it. Hogan walked past it. Rogan walked past it. Every single one of them walked right past it and kept walking. And I will never watch another one of their movies. I'll never buy another one of their products. I'll never listen to another one of their podcasts. Not because I'm canceling them. I'm not that precious. But because I cannot, in good conscience, put money in the pockets of people who looked at a documented sexual predator and said, "That's my guy." Because the standard you walk past is the standard you accept. And their standard is fucking unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Yeah. Very well spoken. Very well said.
As always, he always is.
And it's not anything that every one of us doesn't already know. All of those facts, all of those events happened, and yet they still support him to this day. It's unconscionable.
It is.
It is. Because it like I say, it came out of his own mouth. He'd grab them, do whatever you want. That's the kind of man that we have in the house right now.
Mm.
And he doesn't give a shit about women. He doesn't give a shit about people in general.
Yeah. And that is pretty much the one thing when a MAGA comes at me, that's the one thing that I will throw at them. It's like, really? You're going to support this disgusting piece of shit? Period. He's a disgusting human. Period.
That's it.
And that's beyond all of the other things that he's done to make money and steal and grift and whatever, you know? Yeah.
But if you're doing that, then you're just saying your values are for sale. You'll throw your values in the ditch. Would your
old daughter be alone in a room with him? You know, that's the question. Yeah.
Oh, if I was alone in a room with him,
yeah.
I'd kind of enjoy that myself, I think. Hey,
but anyways, I'll let other people come in and.
Oh shit! I just noticed something.
Was there one that we? Oh, there is.
Nope.
Thanks.
I remembered I dropped my gonger on the last show, and I just now picked it up. Let me thank Benny, a Blue Dot in Kansas, who came in with a $2 donation and said, once every 4 months, it's not going to cut it. You have to use your voice every day, baby. No, once every 4 months ain't going to do it. We're going to have to be a lot more active. And KY Moon came in with a $5 donation and said, "Thank you very much, brother, for the birthday call wishes. Blue Dots rock, and we shall prevail. Fuck Donald J. Trump and the Epstein files and Nuremberg trials." Yes, indeed. Yesterday was KY's birthday, and he had a
Aw,
great time. Yes, he had a good time
happy
celebrating
birthday,
it at the.
KY.
Yeah, another year older, deeper in debt, baby. And Nick's came in with a $5 donation and said, "Did anybody see Dave Mustafa's message for Trump?" I did not. I did not. What was the message? You know?
I
No,
don't know what they're referring to.
no, baby, you
Was
caught us
that the
off guard.
Erica Kirk thing?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know. Hello, Jorge.
Good evening, John.
What?
I
What?
was thinking about you earlier this evening.
I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
No, I was in the kitchen, man, and I had this like 2/3 of this pork and venison smoked sausage.
Oh,
It
shut up.
already cooked, in the fridge, and so I'm like, well, what can I do? I need to do something with this because it's too good to let it go to
Hell yeah.
waste. And
Hell yeah.
and I got a bell pepper. Let's see
Yeah.
what can I do with this? And I started digging around in the cupboard, and all of a sudden the heavens opened up,
It was a
and
miracle.
there was
The
a box
message.
of Zataran's dirty rice mix.
There you go.
And it's
There you
like,
go.
yeah, baby.
There you go. That's a meal
So I got
right there.
I got my bell pepper all julienned up and the sausage all chopped up, and as soon as the show's over, boom.
Well, we
My
won't
I'm
keep
an
it.
empty nester, man. My kids moved out. I can have nice
You can
things,
have whatever you
and
want
I
whenever
can
you
have
want.
and I have a different idea of clean
Thank
than
you,
what they
Astana.
did. And right now, I'm still recouping from my procedure, but uh, I can still clean stuff that's I don't have to pick up, and it keeps me busy.
Yeah, don't. You're describing my house right now. Are you shitting me? Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's not good. It's
well,
not good.
I
Yeah.
was always working, and I had a house full of kids, because I had my sons and all their buddies, and I didn't even attempt to, dust bunnies don't matter. They don't grow. If I could keep the garbage and the
They
dirty clothes and
multiply.
the
I don't
dirty
know what they're
dishes,
doing, but,
you
I
know,
think they grow.
I think
I think they
everything else I
reproduce.
just
either
let
that or
it
they're
go,
screwing around having little baby dust bunnies or what. You know
Yeah.
how rabbits are?
But but yeah, I'm eating good now and uh cleaning everything in sight and uh
I need to get into that habit big time. I really do. I really do. I'm
well
looking at a
I
pile
turn
of
on
dishes
this
in the sink, and every time I look at it, I say, "Ah, get it later."
I
This
got
ain't
this
good.
ginormous album collection, and I just turn on an album and get after it.
Yeah, a little music always motivates. Always motivates.
Yeah.
Hey, let me make a call out here because it did not pop up because SFL SFL6 came in with a $6 Canadian donation. Thank you very much, SFL. SFL. Thank you. I'm having trouble with my mouth today, I guess. Don't want to work. Anyway, did you get? No, you didn't get to go protest yesterday, Jorge.
No, I'm
No,
not out
yeah,
and
no,
about
you
yet.
were not. Yeah, up to it. Yeah,
I just had that procedure on Wednesday, so
Ah,
I'm
yeah.
poking around here slow and
I'm
easy,
sure you were there in spirit, my friend.
Oh, you
I am
betcha.
positive. So
In Marble Falls, they lined both sides of the 281 bridge.
outstanding,
It was pretty cool.
outstanding. We had a huge turnout here in Corpus Christi, which covered all of Cole Park, if you're familiar with the area, and down the
Yeah,
highway, down Ocean Drive. And
yeah, I
on a
know
day
Ocean
that we
Drive.
were actually competing with the jazz festival was going on also. Um, so there was a large crowd here for the jazz festival too, which was separate down the street from where the protest was. So Corpus had a
Yeah,
big,
Ocean
huge
Drive.
day.
You gotta eat at the two-story Whataburger.
Oh yeah, right there on
Yeah,
Ocean
you
Drive,
got
baby.
to.
If you're going to have
Yeah,
a Whataburger in Corpus, that's the place to have it.
that's the place to go, baby.
Indeed, up on the second floor, overlooking all them boats out there. Hello, Lady Freedom Rocks.
Oh, John, Blue Dots, and all the ships at sea.
How are you doing, darling?
Fair to middling.
Yeah, that's all we can hope for. Best. Yeah, it makes the cut. So,
Yes, I've
did,
been listening to everybody talking and stuff. And
yeah,
if I could have the floor for a minute,
sure, go
when
ahead.
it comes to the protests and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
yes, the thought of having them more often is a good idea. But we need to remember that ever since the people showed the power that they had within protests, doing protests, the conservatives have put roadblocks. It's been a slow, trying to make sure they go undetected, to make it where people
Right.
can't really go out and do anything. We have people who would love to be able to voice themselves, but they're scared they're going to lose their jobs because of it. So they want to keep quiet. Totally understandable on that, unfortunately. Then there's those who kind of have the time, but they live paycheck to paycheck, and they really don't have enough PTO. And part of the roadblock is how they've combined where you take sick leave, but you got to use PTO to do it. It's been slowly building. It's part of the roadblocks, trying to keep everybody down,
Right.
because they, as I said, they saw the power of protest from the civil rights, women rights, even that from against the Vietnam War. That's why they make so many jokes and try to point out a lot of bad things about the hippies, them living together and stuff. Basically, they're like-minded people who were living together and stuff because they wanted to be able to protect each other, make sure everybody had a roof over their head, food, stuff like that, so they
Yeah.
could voice their opinions a lot easier. Well, nowadays, we don't have that. And there's people like myself. It's extremely hard for me getting around without help.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard to line up help to get around. That's where, and we got to start now with my little thought process. We need to first start on a grassroots, floor level of contacting each other, talking to each other, finding out exactly what is blocking the situation. That, of course, is where doing more protests can actually help. People can use their days off instead of having to worry about using PTO or something like that, hanging in there. Also, helping, there are many people, like-minded people, who happen to have the ability, they have a car,
Right.
some even have
Anytime. Anytime you can
minivans,
help somebody else get to where they need to go, it's a good thing.
and we need to start being able to reach out. We need to be able to start coming together, using social media, doing text circles, stuff like that. Now, those text things actually work great, as we found out here in Tucson with our ICE alert system.
Right.
We need to start gathering up so we can put people, okay, who needs to go where, what's going on, why can't you, what's blocking
In
you,
your
let's get
local
you
area.
out there.
Right.
Exactly. Grassroots. We need to
That's
start
where it all
doing that. And
starts.
also a lot of people, as I said, they're paycheck to paycheck. They're scared to death of losing their house. That's where we need more protests scheduled so that there's a chance of the protest landing on days off so that they don't have to risk losing a paycheck.
Yeah, losing it.
Then there's a
losing-
child care issue. Now, there's many somewhat older, not too old, a little bit like me. I'm looking at 50. So those who can actually reach out and say, yeah, I can watch your kids for a couple hours while you go out there and yell and holler,
Sure.
be extra loud for me while you're out there. And we have to band together. We need to take the lessons from the past. The 1960s showed us how to do it. Now, a lot of those lessons are kind of been swept under the rug because of the conservatives. The conservatives don't want people to be able to protest like that again, because
unless they're protesting
protesting causes networking. Networking causes change.
That's why I say going to one of these protests is one of the best things you could do, because you're going to be standing in or walking, marching with people. Conversations start, friendships develop, and that's how this thing grows, and it does, and that's what it needs to be. It's always at the ground level that things happen, and will happen. It's the only way we're going to take control of this nation again, is at the ground level. Your vote. Your neighbor's vote, your friend's vote. You got to make sure everybody's in this game, because we all have skin in it, baby. Anyway.
Grassroots will also help slowly. We can't expect what we're needing over time, but what we're needing to do is make a safety net also for us like-minded people, to help make it where people can go and protest and do everything. Because unfortunately, the national safety net has so many holes in it, purposely put in there to make it harder for people to get out and voice. They even make it hard, it even makes it hard for people to go out and even vote.
They're going to try.
And the SAVE Act is going to make it even worse.
They're going to attempt to. That's what the whole push on this SAVE Act is to interfere with the elections, is to get in the way of the midterms. The midterms is the crucial point. If we don't make our move this November, if we don't take control of the House, then I really do fear our own democracy. Will it survive? Because you're not seeing any help from the Republican Party. They've just about, tossed their whole life in with Donnie, and until we take control. Now, when we do, I suspect a whole lot of conservatives will start to jump the fence, because they know he's a dead horse. He's on his way out. He's going to be gone, and what are you going to do then?
Another thing we need to look at too. Now, I know that many look at them as some sort of militant group, blah, blah, blah. But the way the Black Panthers worked within the community, they became, and I have firsthand knowledge on how they helped their communities. I grew up, I was the little snowflake of the community. But I got to see them work, how they helped others in the community. Somebody's having a problem with the rent. Okay, let's all get together. Let's see what we can do here. Let's take a look at the.
It was more of a social operation than anything else. The Black Panther organization.
Yes. And we need to take a page from their book, from back then, because yes, they were ready. They were ready to fight. Okay, I will not debate that part, yes. But they also helped the people in their community. They were able to help them, if somebody had a problem with their medication, somebody had a problem with the rent, somebody's about to lose their electric. Okay, well, let's look at our coffers. Let's see what we can do for you. They reached out and they helped.
That's what it's all about.
That's, once again, grassroots level. We need to get together. Exactly. And once again, networking. We can start talking about, different candidates that's coming up. We can all get an actual good picture of who's running, because we're all talking. And like with me, I'm a researcher. I can get into something and dig in like crazy. You know, if anybody has any questions about a candidate or something, you know, here in my little community, I still get knocks on the door asking my opinion on this person or that person. And that's part of the networking. You find out who knows what, who can find out what. Also, as I said, with the Black Panther thoughts, you know, we start getting together, we make up like a community safety net, because right now, state and local, in many places, that's very iffy for a lot of people because of the roadblocks that started being put in to keep everybody from going out major. Right now, we're doing great with this. I will admit, the No Kings protest, we're doing great.
Yep.
But we can do better if, on a local level, especially, we come together, we start putting resources together, we put our smarts together.
That's what it's all about.
We
It's
need more,
go ahead.
you know, and right now, we do have a problem with people reaching out to their neighbors. It's been a long time problem. A lot of the reasons why nobody can really talk to each other is because they're busy at work. The system made it where they're too busy to really get to know one another. That's where these protests have come in handy, where people can start talking to each other a little bit and start exchanging phone numbers. But we need to start coming together. We need to start using social media, the whole 9 yards. You know, that's kind of a little bit why Generation X wanted to get the ball rolling on that. Because you remember how hard it was to connect. And we all need to get together. Contact those in your community that you know. And have them and get together. Have, you know, use somebody who has a nice big yard and come together and talk about the situations. Start reaching out, helping people who, like I do have to bring myself as the easiest example about trying to get to these places. You know, because I personally feel responsible to be out in these protests, because there are many who are disabled. They can't. There's those in nursing homes. The nursing homes will not let them leave the nursing homes to go do these protests. Even if a family member tries writing them out, if the reason they're leaving is to go join a protest, no, they can't leave. So I personally, because I'm still independent, you know, I live independently.
Right.
I feel that for all those who would love to get out there and can't, I got to be out there representing in my wheelchair, yelling up a storm.
And bless your heart for doing it.
But it takes the community to help.
It does.
People like me who still are independent to get out. There's also those, as I said, they got kids. Those who can do some babysitting.
I've seen plenty of kids out at the protests yesterday. Lots of kids with their family.
There are,
really
but there's also those in areas that's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, that would be difficult. Yeah, it's all relative to where you live and what the situation is.
Yeah. So right now, we all need to start, and it has to start now before the next protest, to start getting this networking going, making our own type of community safety nets, if you will, to be able to help each other. That's the only way we're going to be able to get our voices out there, especially if you listen to foreign, some of the people outside the country. They talk about, we're not doing it enough. Why aren't we doing it enough? A lot of people talk about how France does it, how they don't have the same roadblocks that's been put in since the 1960s by the conservatives. The biggest ones, of course, was put in by Reagan, with him doing what he did with the unions. Unions actually made it easier for people to do things.
Yeah, I don't do tech.
Not so much now. But if we can come together, actually, on a grassroots level to start, and notice I said start, things grow from a grassroots.
Everything
and
starts
start
at the grass.
making it.
Everything starts at the root, baby, and that
We
includes
can do
everything that we have in this country comes from the people. It has to. That's the way the system is
Mhm.
designed. That's the way our country is set up to be. That it's we
But
the people that.
when did it actually matter most? When did it actually move the needle? When people suffered the most, and that would have been
Indeed.
during the union strikes. People went
yes.
without jobs. They didn't know what they were going to do next, but they knew they weren't going to go back to that job and get paid underpaid.
Right.
And they kept it closed down. And that's coming up May 1st, May Day. You know, they want you to keep your money at home. They want you to stay home from work. They want you to not shop, not go to school. And that's the
Good.
kind of next step we have to do.
That's the
We
thing
have
that
to
kind of
shut the
makes
money
an
down.
impact
And
too. You shut the money
that's
down, and
another
they pay
thing. Instead
attention
of
to that.
spending your money at these businesses, let's get it right now. Get groups go a special, like once again, looking at the Black Panthers, their coffers. Everybody combines the money. You know, everybody throws a little bit in here and there, so that if one of the neighbors end up in super trouble,
Well, we're in
they
a
can help
similar
out.
situation to that right now, with people.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there are people doing that exact same thing, pitching in and providing food and assistance within their own community. We've seen that popping up across the United States because there's a need for it,
Yep.
and anytime there's a need, Americans usually we step up and we provide that. Uh,
And we
but
also got to get, once again, that's part about networking. There's so many people out here that don't know about these places that can help. There is a communication block on a lot of this stuff. Nobody actually knows, especially in red states. Red states are the worst for it.
well, the best tool for
And
that I
that's
found
why we've got to
is
communicate with each other.
indeed, indeed.
We need to
Yep.
get people hooked up with Indivisible and Mobilize Us and the different things that have the information. Go to a meeting. Find an
Yeah.
Indivisible near you. Go to a meeting. If you don't like it, then find some other group. You know, go to the local Dems, go to the local whatever. But
Just
get
pick
involved.
one. Yeah, be involved.
Just pick one.
That's the biggest thing. Is
And
this
you might
doesn't
not be able to go to all the meetings or do all this stuff. Some of them are virtual. Some of them you can do at home and listen to the information. And you never know who's going to have something good to share, you know?
yeah.
But but a lot of people don't know about these places. That's why we need to we need to go back to grassroots, get this information out.
Well, the
Like
best
we
way to
say,
do that is
if
ask those
somebody
one
wants me,
take
Yeah.
one
we
person
need to
you've
get
never seen before and ask them. Ask them how they got there. Do they know about the other things? Give them information.
that's why
It
we need
all
to talk with our neighbors. That's why we need to communicate.
yeah.
There is an app where neighbors can get onto for their local area and start chatting with each other. But a lot of people don't know about that, especially those who might even
That-
know might not think they have the time. Why? Because they're blocked up at work. We need to start, that's why we need to start finding, use the protest, especially because we need to get together to be able to do this. Because
Networking. Anytime you can network with your neighbors, with friends, with coworkers, whatever it is, to expand that circle is a good thing. Word of mouth is probably always the best, way to get your message out. To encourage your friends and family to be involved. So, everything starts right here at the local level. Next door, well, not my neighbors. Yeah, you always can't reach out to all your neighbors. Hello, Yelly Man. Lord,
Oh, hello, John. How you
how are
doing?
you doing? I'm doing all right, brother.
Fine. I've been paying attention to you and to how many people. I was kind of excited about the march, and I was hoping that a lot of people would turn out. And so far, I saw 8 million people. I was really hoping for 20 million, but
Hey,
but
we was hoping for 100 million, but
yeah,
I'm happy with what I saw. The turnouts that I saw were pretty powerful.
Yeah. But why didn't you have like 15 million or at least 10% of the population? Is there any other? Because there's a lot of people who didn't come out too.
Well, you can only do so much to encourage people to come out, and those that come out will. It's.
But I'm just.
We always wish that we had. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, what's the excuse of the people who didn't show up?
Do what now?
Don't know.
The people who didn't show up.
What about them?
I wonder what their excuse is. What's their explanation for that? Because when you do polling and stuff, everybody's discontent with Trump. And my opinion is, if you're not happy with Trump, get on your ass and go and show up on the street.
That's what all of us want. But unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. There's people that have lives, things in their life that possibly got in the way, a job, family issues, or whatever it is. If you turned out, I'm happy, and we need more. But I looked at it as a damn good turnout all across the nation and around the world. There were protests in other countries.
We had in all over Europe, and we had there was big crowds here too.
That's good. That's good. We appreciate it.
Because he is affecting us too, and we don't want him to screw Europe. But he is screwing Europe because he's not helping Ukraine.
He's screwing Europe. He's screwing everybody. He's screwing this country.
He's helping Russia.
If he's screwing us, he's not going to hesitate to screw somebody. Oh, Russia, that's a different game. He's not about to do anything to piss Putin off. That's Donnie's boy. That's Donnie's man. He would do anything for Putin.
Putin knows the dirt, where the dirt is buried on Trump. There is no way that he doesn't have a big fucking pile of shit on Trump that he can.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. Reaching back decades, he's probably got crap on him or whatever. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's enough for Donald Trump to sell out this country to him. And that's that says a lot.
It's probably so bad that even the most fucking brainwashed MAGA would turn away in this country.
I would hope so, but the chances of us seeing it are pretty slim right now.
I think you can just look down and look at the.
I think every one of us has an idea of what possibly Putin could have on him. Outside of the fact that Trump admires Putin. And you got to remember that. Trump wants exactly what Putin has. An oligarch society where he doesn't have, all he has to do is sit up in the big house, collect the money, and have a bunch of his oligarch rich buddies take care of everything. That's what he wants. He wants the adulation that Kim Jong-un gets. That's what the two things Donald Trump wants. He wants the power of Putin and the adulation of Kim Jong-un. If it was up to him, we'd all have a painting of him in our house, and would praise the glorious leader anytime he comes out, clap our full heads off. That's what he wants. And America's not the one we're not the ones to give him that kind of shit.
You're probably going to end up, whenever you enter a federal building, that you have to bow in front of his picture.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen either.
But that's what they are.
If he had his way, sure. If he had his way, like I say, we'd all have a picture of him in our house. We would all praise the glorious leader and clap our hands off every time he appeared. Because in his head, that's what he gets. He already thinks we all love him. Everybody. His approval ratings are out the roof. Although you look at his ratings and they're not doing too good. They're not doing too good. Hey, let me send out a thank you to KY Moon, who came in with a $2 donation and said, "Why are we not sending ice to Iran? Patriots, huh? Fuck Donald J. Trump. Hey, they could wear their mask over there. I don't give a shit. Go. Yeah. That ain't going to happen.
They can let them loose in Tehran and write Americans on top of their fucking heads. Let them walk around in Tehran and see how long they last before somebody kills them on the street.
Well, we're in a bad situation right now, and it ain't going to get no better for a while. He thinks this shit's going to be over on the 6th or something, that Iran's going to magically just capitulate, and we're all going to walk. This ain't going to be over for a long ass time.
Didn't it give them 2 weeks? So
until April 6th. Until April 6th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
To open up the Straits of Hormuz, or we're going to blow up all their shit.
And unconditional surrender, of course.
Of course. Yeah, it ain't going to happen. They're not about to surrender. He thinks just by the nature of him being Trump, that they'll all be scared and, back down. Like everything's going to turn out like Venezuela did. No.
Iran is not
Venezuela. No, they're much more powerful, and they're willing to suffer and hang in there. This isn't
and
just.
This is a holy war for them. I mean, Trump represents the devil.
Yep, bring in that whole religion thing. Yeah, that's what it is, and what are you gonna do? That's why. Stay away from that. Hey, let me thank Susan Wolf, who came in with a $2 donation, and thank you very much, Susan. I appreciate that. Plus, we've had a few requests through the chat that I am trying to pay attention to, that it's time for the song.
I just need you to shut the fuck up, cause nobody asked you, bitch. I need you to shut the fuck up, bitch. 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 Bow, bow, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow.
Boy, howdy shit. Yeah, that'll make you smile. Boy, howdy. Well, so what else is going on? Huh?
Jorge just joined, but he hasn't spoken, so I guess maybe somebody should wake him up. Are you sleeping,
Jorge?
Jorge?
Yeah, he's okay. He's checking the weather.
Oh, I'm in the kitchen here. My Walmart order came today, and my son came down here to help me unpack it all. And I told you that. I told you that, now that the kids have moved out, I can have nice things,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
What
I got
doing?
the old nasty microwave and toaster oven, and I got a new microwave and toaster oven, and I put the old ones in the boxes, and tomorrow's garbage day.
Well, there you go. See, accomplishing tasks. Getting things done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We upgraded on both of them, too, so...
I'm looking at 2 appliances in my kitchen that are probably on their last leg. My coffee pot, which seems to take forever to make a pot of coffee now. It just keeps gurgling over there. And now my microwave, which I've had for a long time, and now I can put things in there to heat it up. Doesn't mean I can get them out, because the little button on it, doesn't work right now. And shit, so I'm sitting there 15 minutes trying to get my damn cup of coffee that I heated up just to warm it up. Yeah. That's life, baby.
Well, I know the feeling, John. I've got an Admiral refrigerator.
Oh, an admirable refrigerator.
Admiral, yeah.
Yeah.
And a Whirlpool Estate freezer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Rolling in high stuff there, brother.
Refrigeration is right on the brink of extinction, I think. But we'll see how long it'll go.
That's the way life is, brother. That's one thing.
But the countertop sure looks nice with a new microwave.
The countertops, I can't even find mine. Are you shitting me? I'm telling you, I've got to get my shit together. Countertop space, the sink, I got to get my shit together and clean house.
Well, I'm downsizing too.
Are you?
If it's not applicable to my life at this point in time, I don't fucking.
My kids are really trying to pressure me into, not pressure me. They would rather see me put this place up for sale and move out of it and move a little closer into town to where I'd be closer.
Someplace where you don't have a bunch of maintenance.
Hello,
and stuff,
Bear.
You know?
That's my old post office guy, Raul, in the chat right there. And I met Bear and his
cool.
wife Janie at the protest tomorrow. Got to sit with him. He's a fantastic guy, just a great guy. Yeah, he used to be my postman. Yeah, that was because I lived 15 miles away from the post office. And Bear, when he worked there, he would I know he wasn't supposed to, but he'd text me and let me know if something was in the box or not. You know, if it was an empty box,
Yeah,
you could,
save that gasoline.
Save that gasoline, but
You
yeah,
betcha.
and then he'd tell me, "Oh, you got a package." You know, "Oh, all right, baby, I'm on my way to town with a smile on my face and stuff." I do. I miss him. He's a great guy. He is. He retired from the Postal Service, and him and his wife have a wonderful family. And yeah, he's watching them all. They're all going to college. He's going to see them all the time and whatnot. It's a wonderful story. It's yeah.
Did he
But
buy him a camper?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's got a camper or not. I don't know if Bear's a camping guy or not. I don't know. They've been getting around. They've been traveling some. They've been traveling, I know. And good for them. But yeah.
But
They
you know
got-
what, John? If you moved, I'm sure you would. It would be a
It would
tragedy
be
for you
heartbreaking for
to-
my neighborhood, I'm sure. You know, my neighbors would
Yeah,
all
and,
just
and
hang their
especially
head
for
in
you,
sadness.
and all these wonderful neighbors that you're never going to see
Well,
again. You would have.
Yeah.
It would have been
if
a
there's
heartache,
any
wouldn't it?
reason to stay, it's them.
Hey, they might be anxious just to buy you out, John.
I'm sure they would, especially
know?
one of them.
You could
One
put
of
a
them
good
would
price
definitely do
on
it.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, they all know, everybody on this street knows that I ain't got the prettiest house on the street, but when it comes to property, oh, baby, I
Yeah,
got the prime
buddy.
spot on this street, baby, because when
You
it
got the
floods
yard.
out here, every house on this street has water under it while John is still sitting up here high and dry.
Yeah.
Not that I can get in and
You
out.
can't get in and out. Yeah.
No, the road's cut off, all of that shit. But John's sitting here on an island, and yeah, I've been through several floods here, and I've even had water under my house. But the street in front of my house was like an island, just my part of the street,
Yeah.
just the part
I've
that's
seen
in front of
pictures
my
of
house.
that.
Was high and dry the whole time. So
You can fish from your house. You know, I mean, you got very close.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
Well,
have to travel to.
I don't have to go far to fish. I could just walk out my backyard and fish in the river. But,
Yeah.
But like everybody else, the grass is greener always someplace else. So, I pack up my fishing gear and go fishing. When I have friends over, they'll fish in my backyard. But I can fish in my backyard anytime.
What
I
kind
don't
of
fish
fish do you
there,
get
shit.
in that
Yeah.
little?
Bass, white bass, and
You got trout.
we have some trout.
Yeah.
The big
ever get
trout here
crappie?
are out in saltwater. The big
Yeah,
specks,
yeah.
which
That's
is where I
delicious
like
food,
to fish.
isn't it?
Oh, it is,
That's
yeah.
really delicious.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
Nothing
this
like fresh
video
caught
you made
fish.
a few years. I saw this video you posted a few years ago where you were kayaking down the river.
Oh,
That was very interesting.
yeah.
That's a long.
Yeah, I used to do that quite a
quite
bit.
a
I
few.
used to do that quite a bit because you go
Yeah.
one
You
way
said,
up
you know what?
when I go upriver, there's nothing. I don't run into houses, miles and miles and miles of nothing. And
Yep.
it's
No, it was
really quite
very.
relaxing.
It looked like you were having the time of your life when you were just.
Mm-hmm.
It was so quiet. You
Yeah.
just. You allowed the stream just to take you down. You didn't.
There's
even
nothing
have-
like paddling upriver and then stop paddling and just let the current of the river bring you
Yeah.
back home. Because then you're real quiet and you have a tendency to come around the corner. You'll see deer or hogs down by the river. You'll sneak up on them and all that. A lot of wildlife. So yeah, it's real enjoyable. And I would miss it. But I've been here
You still. You still
25
have a
years
kayak?
and well, I did until it disappeared from my river. So
Oh.
Yeah.
I had that happen
I,
to a canoe at Lake Buchanan one time, and somebody came up from the lake
I
and
think
got it.
somebody came by while they were down there and saw it tied up. And
Yeah.
yeah, what do you do? You know. So
Well,
yeah.
I still have an old town fiberglass, 14-foot fiberglass canoe that's the uh, the woven seats and the whole thing,
Oh,
man.
outstanding.
It's
Maybe
nice,
John
yeah.
can borrow that from you, John,
It's
right?
the
Yeah.
cane and ash seats,
Yeah, I think John's paddling
Uh,
days are over.
Or
yeah.
John's shoulder ain't gonna handle no paddle no more. Nope.
I kind of got that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that ain't working no more. If I'm in a kayak, somebody's paddling my ass. So
you were talking about baby alligators that you'd seen traces of some.
yes, we have
Uh,
alligators in this river.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Oh yeah.
you
Oh,
were
I've
talking
had them.
about when you seen the babies, you know the mother is there too.
Oh yeah, we was kayaking.
Yeah.
Me and my son's kayaking down the river one day, and my son yelled over, "Hey, Dad, look, there's some alligators over here, little alligators." And I immediately paddled over there, and I went, "Oh shit, yeah, back up out of here." And
Yeah, let's
that's
get
what we
out of
did.
here.
Yeah, get out of that area. If you
You don't
see
want
little baby
to. You
alligators,
don't want to
don't
meet
stand, don't
mama.
hang around. Where there's
You don't want
babies, there's a mama.
Mama don't
you don't
like
want to meet
people
her.
hanging around the
Nope,
babies.
they don't. No, they don't. They will get violent. So yeah, I've had them pretty much slap the boat before, and yeah, it'll make your hair. Yeah, especially when a kayak, because you can get tipped over pretty easy in a kayak.
Yeah,
You know, the water's right there. Shit.
I
You
got
know,
tail whipped by one in a canoe, and it makes a noise. It's, you don't
it'll
forget.
it'll make the hair on the back of your
Boom.
head stand up. Bluegill. Oh yeah. Now see, there's a difference between catching fish and eating fish for me. I can
Yeah.
catch fish all day long. I love to catch fish. When I when I eat fish, I prefer catfish. I prefer catfish. It's a meatier fish to me. And besides that, I was raised on catfish. You know,
I like flounders too, man.
That's good. Yeah,
Grilled
flounders
flounder is
are.
good.
flounder's very good.
Crappie
I'm
is
glad you
good.
tuned into the fishing channel. Uh,
Ah.
yeah. Yeah.
You got any recipes for us, John? You got any particular ones that you're from Louisiana,
Nope.
aren't you,
Nope.
originally?
Nope. I got no recipes, buddy. No, I'm an eater. I'm an eater, not a cook.
You-
I mean, I can cook, but no, I don't have anything I brag on. That's my specialty or anything like that. No, no, I prefer
My
other
mama
people
was
do
a
that.
Cajun. That's why I know how to do it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Me and my
Boy,
boys are the only Texans in the whole family.
mm-mm-mm.
Well, guys, it's been fun, but I'm up to
Well,
something.
all right,
Uh-oh.
baby. Well, we're glad you stopped by.
Keep on rocking in the free world, Blue Dots. Lady Freedom out.
Lady Freedom
Rocking in
out,
the
baby.
Freedom.
Good night,
Thank you for
Lady
being here.
Freedom.
Good night, Lady Freedom. Thank
Good
you for
night.
being here. Boy, howdy shit. Well, now that we got the fishing out of the way,
Mhm.
what's going on in the world of politics now?
Oh, nothing, John.
Nothing.
Real
It's the same
quiet.
old shit,
Everything's
just a
real
different
quiet.
day. Yeah.
Did you see anything about Eileen Cannon?
No. What? Oh, the judge.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
What was it about
Oh,
her?
they went in and got the boxes as evidence from the Mar-a-Lago case from her, and somebody has recorded tapes of her.
Oh, dare you say?
Someone in her office went to I guess the FBI, and made a deal and been wearing a wire.
Oh, don't tease
And
me. Come
that's
on.
what I'm
She's,
hearing.
Really?
That's what
She's
I'm
corrupt.
hearing.
Corrupt bitch.
Oh yeah. And
I'm waiting for
she's
that
been
story. I'm waiting
yeah.
for that story.
I caught it this evening. I think it was Andrew Wiseman, the lawyer, or what? The attorney. Anyway, respected, big name attorney. He's got a podcast, and I heard it on there. So, You might want to look it up and see if
I
it's
will.
verified.
I
I
will.
suspect if I heard it from him, it's probably
But I would,
spot
whatever
on.
they got, they got to hold on to that until Trump is no longer president, because there's nothing you
yeah,
can do with her now.
yeah. Bondi will make it. End up in a prison dumpster, shredded somewhere, right?
Yeah.
No. You
So,
if you got anything on her cannon, you just sit on it and wait until Trump is out of office.
no, this
and
has
that-
already entered into the court record, and it's evidence,
Oh,
and it's
God.
public. It's public. Too
Yeah,
late.
but that
It's out.
they should have waited for Trump to leave before they.
Well, we'll
did
see
anything
what
with
all this amounts to, because you got to remember, this may involve Trump.
Oh,
You reckon?
It's that
Well,
same
she was his
courthouse.
she
Same
was his
courthouse.
lackey. She was his
Yes.
lackey. so-
Well, what did they record? That's the question. See.
Probably that Trump promised her a seat on the Supreme Court if he got his way.
Well-
In the documents case. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, it's going to be interesting anyway. I thought it was a very interesting twist of events. It could turn out really, really interesting, though. There would be a lot of people squirming if it happened.
She's born in Colombia, which is
I'm
very
waiting to see a
interesting.
lot of
She's
people
not even
start
American.
squirming.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is when the day of reckoning comes, Stephen Miller's first on my list. He needs to be number one on the day of reckoning that is
To go to heaven.
brought before whatever judgment there may be in this universe.
You think that's
or
gonna happen?
on the earth. If it could happen here, it wouldn't bother me a bit.
Hey,
You wouldn't cry.
We won't even wait for heaven.
I'll take
We'll
that
just
in
take
the
care of
form
it
of
right
a
here.
lightning bolt. That's what I
Yeah.
want.
So
Just
you and
one
John, you
lightning
wouldn't cry if he died.
Oh no.
Well,
Well,
would not
now,
break my heart.
that's how come I say I want it to be a bolt of lightning. I want it to be
Yeah, so that you can go
a
to church.
sign.
So that you can go to church.
Yeah, I'd go. Yeah, if a bolt of lightning came, I'd go to church every Sunday, every Wednesday, whatever day the doors opened. I'd probably be there. That's all I'd want.
You would
be
praise the
one
Lord,
bolt
wouldn't
of
you?
lightning. I would indeed. I'd turn around and become a believer tomorrow. Hey, let me thank Bear. Raul Sanchez just came in with a $5 donation. Raul, thank you very much. Bear, Janie, I appreciate y'all, baby. Yeah, hell of nice people. Really nice people.
Trump
boy,
Trump
had a
just
shit.
says that he can just take whatever oil he wants in Iran. That's his latest statement.
Yeah, let's see how
He
that
can just
works
take
out.
the oil. Yeah.
That's the verbiage he uses. They'll just take the oil. Yeah, let's see him do that. Yeah, he pulls shit out of his ass all the time. And that's what the problem is. He thinks he's going to be able to worm his way out of this Iran thing in short order, but no, this is going to hang around for a while. We're going to see
And he thinks
repercussions
just
for
because
this
he
for a
says
long
something
time.
that people are going to respect it, and they're not.
No,
Everybody laughs at him. He's a moron. Well, he's not your regular off-the-shelf moron. Okay?
Oh no, he's a
a
very special.
blithering
Yes.
fucking moron.
But he is,
a special kind.
yeah, one that can lead the other morons. He's a moron leader. I don't know what it is that as Mishachik read that, everything that we all know, everybody knows that he did.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows, including the maggots,
no
including the
secret.
conservatives.
They
They
all
all know who he is, and it defies logic that a party that calls themselves conservative or a party that calls themselves Christian can look themselves in the eye and justify their support for him, because there is no justification for it. He's a crook,
seem to
he's a
have no
liar, he's a
problem
cheat,
doing
he's a
it.
draft dodger, he's a sexual predator, he's everything that they've always said they stood against. Yeah, Saudi America. I see that, Scotty. Yeah.
was scared.
Israel just
He
shut
wants us
down.
more like Russia. He just wants us like Russia. He just wants you to shut up, drink your vodka, and you know, just absorb
did-
everything. You
Did you
know,
hear what Israel did? They refused a Catholic congregation to get together and hold Sunday Mass in Jerusalem. They bought, yeah. So that's what that's what the Israelis is doing. The Catholics weren't allowed to.
Israel's pushing
Pope-
their shit. That's what I think.
Probably because
Israel's
Pope
bordering
just-
on just being a terrorist state at this point.
the Pope, yeah, but
No.
the Pope just came out and criticized Israel, and
As well
a couple
they
of days
should.
later, yeah,
You know
a couple of days later,
they're the ones that pushed this
Uh,
whole thing. They're the ones that
Yeah.
wanted this war. And Donnie just couldn't wait to jump in and help his buddy. And look where he is now. And look what Israel's doing to southern Lebanon,
Exactly.
to the West Bank. You know, it ain't gonna stop
ain't
Israel
just
until
about
Israel
Iran.
gets from the river to the sea. That's what Israel
it.
wants. And
The
they're
war
not
with
going to quit
Iran
until they
was
get it.
just a distraction so that they could go in and
You haven't heard much about
hog
Gaza,
up more land.
you know.
Yeah, and you know what, guys?
Huh.
There's another country in the Middle East that's turned against America, and I'll give you a hint. They start with an I.
Iraq.
Yep.
We have
Well, that'd
never
be
had
interesting.
success in the Middle East. None. We have, you know, very shaky allies over there.
Yeah.
And it's all built on oil and gas. That's what, you know.
Netanyahu wants the whole Middle East to himself, is what he wants.
Well, sure. He wants
Now
to be a superpower, is what it is.
Netanyahu,
And he wants
wants
to
to
be the
remain
superpower of the Middle East.
in his position so he don't go to prison. You know.
Yeah, that's it.
But don't think he doesn't have the support of the Israel people in this. He does. He does.
Well, not everybody in Israel approves of him.
Not
There's
everybody,
people in
no. No, but a
protesting
majority of
just like
Israelis
there.
support what he's doing. And
Yeah.
and it I don't know. I think it's terrible. Terrible what they're
Oh
prosecuting.
yeah, they're horrible what they're doing.
And now
Well,
it's,
you know, yeah.
what's that?
I was going to tell you now, not only is the Strait of Hormuz closed, but Yemen, the
Yeah.
Houthis, have closed off the Red Sea.
As Julie Snow says, they've been fighting for over 3,000 years. What do you expect?
Yeah.
It's never gonna.
So
There's
now-
never gonna be peace in that area.
Right. So now we got two points over there in the Middle East closed off. So now, not only are we not going to be able to get oil out of the Strait of Hormuz, but we're also not going to be able to get oil out of the Red Sea.
Well, I imagine oil prices are going to stay high for a while. You know, this isn't going to go away easily. You know, but hell, Iran's making money right now. They're just getting the ships to pay a tariff to go through, paying a fee to get ships through. That's the 8 presidents that Donnie said he got from Iran. That was that kind of shit. And they're paying for that.
Outstanding.
Amy Pose just came in with a $10 donation and said, "Thanks." Oh, baby, thank you. It's thanks for all you do. Turn around USS Tripoli. What a speech. No shit. Yeah, we're sending another one over there, baby. They're going to stack them up over there. I don't know what the plans are. If we start putting ground troops in there, this is not going to turn out well. This will not turn out well for the United States. There will be a lot of casualties.
They
Yeah,
don't
I
really
see.
understand the geography and the size of the Iranian army.
No, they think it's.
I seen
I don't think they
They have a
understand how big it
million
is.
people under arms.
right.
It's
I
a
seen
huge
something
country.
last night that it's already happened, John. You've already started putting boots on the ground in Clark Island.
Yep, we're going to try. I guess they're going to try to take Karg Island. You know, which is going to be a
And
task
gonna work.
in itself.
it'll be like shooting
It's a
ducks
heavily
in a
defended
barrel
island.
once they get there.
Yeah, and
Well, what it's going to be?
what?
You remember Iwo Jima and how we took Iwo Jima?
Yeah.
It's going to be the reversal of
Massacre.
that. This time, instead of us taking Iwo Jima,
Iwo Jima was a
Carg
meat
Island's
grinder.
going to take us out. Carg Island's going to take us out.
Well, let's just assume we take the island. What does that make us? It makes us a target.
Right.
That's what it
A
makes
small target.
us. A small target. Easy to, just lob a
Easy to
missile
hit.
in there. Yeah, this is not going to go well at
Lots
any
of
rate.
fatalities.
But hey, we're not talking about Epstein, which we need to.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile,
while all this is going on, Germany and France have completely released all of the files unredacted.
that's what I was talking about. This is not just a case of the United States. Jeffrey Epstein was a worldwide
Yes, he
dealer
was.
in that shit. So other countries are involved, and we're going to find out a lot more through them too, because they don't have a government that's trying to hide all
operator.
the shit right now.
Yeah.
Which is what we have. Don't worry,
And
our
what he
Department
did-
of Justice is hard at work persecuting everybody that ever said anything wrong to Donnie. So that's the
You know what,
business our
John?
Department of
He
Justice is.
lured all these billionaires into his secret society so that not only could he lure them in with these young girls, but he also blackmailed them.
Oh, I'm sure there's all sorts of shit that went on in that group. None of it good. None of it good. Rich, powerful men too.
Yeah.
So we need to stay after that shit. Okay,
Yeah, but
we're going to
John-
wrap it up for the evening. I appreciate everybody coming in and lending their 2 cents. Thank you to Lady Freedom Rocks for stopping in. We appreciate that. And Roosevelt, Ben,
Yes, sir.
thank you, brother, for coming in. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me at the table tonight, John.
You
I
bet.
wasn't expecting
I'll
you
try
to
to
call
get
me
you in
after
here a little
tonight.
sooner next time.
All right.
All right. All right, brother.
care,
Take
buddy.
care of yourself. You bet. And Yelly Man,
Yeah.
thank you for coming in, brother.
No sweat. I hope everything works out, but it's gonna have to take the time it takes. That's what it is. You just have
Takes
to wait
time
this out
and
so
our
long.
involvement. And with that, we'll make a difference. I know we will. I have full
Yeah, I'm
faith
sure
in
you
it
will.
this time. I got
Me
high
too,
hopes
me
for
too.
Texas. Anyway, Yelly Man, take care
Yeah.
of yourself, and we'll see you later, brother.
Okay, John. See you later. Bye
You
bye.
bet. Bye-bye. And Jorge.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Lordy, brother. Enjoyed it. Thank you for coming in. I hope
Oh, yeah.
I hope the wonderful Nan is doing well.
She's fabulous. Hey, John,
Good.
you know what you call a
What?
man who knows no fear?
Who is that?
An
What do you call-
ambulance.
An ambulance. You call him an ambulance, yeah, because he's going to need it.
You betcha.
Anyway, brother, thank you for
Well,
coming in. Take care of
You know,
yourself.
you guys like, share, and subscribe because it makes a lot of difference in the thing.
Makes all the difference in the world, baby.
And-
We appreciate every time they do. And the buttons are right down there, easy to hit. Anyway,
And it's such a cool bunch of people to hang
It
out with.
is.
So
No
I mean,
shit.
yeah.
couldn't ask for a finer group. Anyway,
Right.
Jorge,
Good night,
tire
y'all.
biter. Good night, brother. Love you. Take care
I'll
of
think
yourself.
of you when I'm eating that dirty rice.
Yeah, do
John.
that. Do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Good
probably
night.
going to be eating ramen noodles. Been suffering on them things for a while. Anyway, Jorge, take care. And Miss Chick.
And John.
Oh boy, howdy. I
Oh, boy,
enjoyed that
howdy.
at the beginning. I really did. I kind of
Yeah, I
laid it
really
all out on
enjoyed
the line.
E-Man from Australia. He's got a lot to say.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Where did it go? The stupid screen just doesn't cooperate with me. I
tech
had
issues.
a couple of voting things to remind people of, and now I can't find it because my screen doesn't cooperate.
Shake a hammer at it.
Let's
Flip
see,
it
that's
to bird. Say, I don't
yeah.
give it. Yeah.
filing. No, they're all filing. Oh, I don't know. Shoot. Where did
I
it
don't
go?
know. This buzzing on my computer, this fan on this computer is just driving me nuts. It's like all I
Okay,
can
I'll
hear.
just click on it. I know there was a couple of things happening in April. I think there was a runoff. But I can't remember which one it was. Somewhere, something in Mississippi. And then there was a
Okay.
couple other things in April. So keep an eye on your election stuff.
Watch your
Primaries are
local.
still happening. Whether it's local, whether it's federal, whatever. Make sure you're ready to go. And vote, vote, vote.
That's it, baby.
Help
I
others
want to
vote
thank.
if you can. Find out
I
if they
want.
need help.
I want to thank all of you that participated in yesterday's protest, whether it be in person or in thought. We really appreciate everybody's participation in that. It was really quite something to see. And yeah, we're not done yet. We need
Yeah,
some
we're
more of
not
that
done
shit.
yet.
Nope. Nope. Anyway,
I'm just gonna close that screen. It's not working.
yeah, just close it. Whack it with a
Just
hammer.
where's the hammer, John? Hand me the
I know.
hammer.
Keep one handy.
I give up.
I should have one around here too.
Anyways,
Somewhere I do.
there were some wonderful people that liked our shit, John.
I love the people who like our shit. I really do.
Too, and I really like the people that come right up to you at the protests and like your shit.
They do. And I did. I enjoyed that tremendously. Several people, yes. Yeah, it was pretty cool to be recognized.
It was nice.
Yeah. You're that
Especially when
guy.
it's people that you know.
Yeah. It was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Looked
But
like you were having some fun.
who are these people that liked us?
Well, we had people like Mark H. from South Africa, Michael
Really?
C. from Florida, Dar D. from Hawaii, Ted L. from Canada, Kathy M. from Arizona, and Amanda L. in North Carolina. They all liked our shit.
I all liked our shit. And again, we're worldwide, baby. I love that shit. You could love this shit. You could like this shit. You could share this shit. It's all right down there, and we would appreciate it if you did. This family grows every time I turn around. Anyway, it is Sunday. Monday, is going to be a ride for me, so I'll try to get a rant out, but there ain't no guarantees for Monday. But Tuesday, we will be back here for another Blue Dot family meeting. So until then, baby, pay attention to the news. Keep informed about what's going on. Make sure you're ready to vote and vote every chance you get. Anyway, I love you all for being here. Have the best day you can tomorrow. Put a smile on your face and give that shit away. Anyway, good night, Miss Chick.
Good night, John. Good night, Blue Dot family.
Good night, family. We'll see you on Tuesday.